You're on Opinions Matter. How are you, Alan?
I'm good, thank you.
Now, Alan, you live nearby, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a Saggart resident. I have been for the last 14 years, and we just want our voices to be heard. We hear the government are saying that they've been in touch with Saggart residents.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Minister Jim O'Callaghan said, that they would be in constant touch.
Yeah, which is an absolute lie. There's no one in the area that's been made contact to, and they're just pushing that out through the media. Also, I'd like to correct you. The deal is not done. That's been pushed through the media to say the deal is done. The agreement is in place. The price has been agreed. But
I already said a minute ago that the money hasn't been handed over yet.
No, but you said the deal is done. It's already signed. Jeremy said that. So I just want to...
I read that in the news. So why would they push that story if it hadn't been done? That's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, well, did you ever buy a house, Jeremy?
Yes.
Yeah, so when you bought a house, you agreed the price. So when did you go sale agreed? It's months later.
Yes.
So you can imagine a deal like this would take even longer with the money involved.
Okay, so nothing has been signed yet, so they can still do a 180 on it.
100%.
Okay, interesting.
So just as a local dad, I'm a local dad of 3 girls, and basically we've been put through for the last 5 years of losing Citywest Hotel as a local amenity. We had 2 years of a COVID testing centre, a job centre, and then it reopened for like 3 weeks, and then it was closed again. Say the Ukrainians were coming in, which is fine. Everybody in Saggart opened up their arms and says, yeah, come on in. Try to integrate them with the local area. We got them involved in football, the kids involved in football and stuff like that. And then, which I would believe this was kind of sneaky, within about 6 months, we noticed different people coming in. It wasn't Ukrainians. And then kind of the area got a bit run down. There was antisocial behaviour. Not every weekend, every night. Now,
and this alleged antisocial behaviour, is it down to people who are, wherever they're from, who are resident at present in Citywest?
100%.
100%.
100%. They stick out like a sore thumb. They all wear flip-flops. You know them straight away. A lot of them don't speak English. If you ever approach them to say, oh, you can't be doing that.
Okay, so give me an idea then. Antisocial behaviour is a very wide gamut of things that people are doing. Give me an idea of the sort of antisocial behaviour that has beset Saggart since people were placed in Citywest.
Well, only there Saturday night, there was 3 lads. There's a little plaza area across from our local pub, which has come a little drinking zone for these people. So there was 2 people there, one with his top off getting videoed. He was on drugs. He was seen taking drugs and drinking, because when I say taking drugs, they leave the little bits of tin foil and the plastic bags behind a little tree. We've seen it, and he's shouting at the top of his voice, and there's kids around walking by, there's families walking by. So that's just one. That was just Saturday night, right? So I actually went over there on Sunday evening to see what was happening, just as a local dad went by. And I was walking around the area. I go walks all the time. And I was just in the area for at least 60 minutes. And I seen 9 different sets of lads drinking. So I was drinking constantly. There's open drug taking. There's urinating in the street. This is over the last couple of years, not just the other night. Okay? So there's been people exposing themselves to women, to children, on the Lewis, they're taking pictures of young girls. Like, the list goes on.
Now, so we know that...
And then you have the tent. On the end of the Lewis line, there was bushes there. There was 9 tents set up, right? Now, this was moved on. I actually rang the police. The police were out. Got onto the Lewis company and moved them on. They're in the local park, right, drinking, setting up tents, sleeping rough. Now, that's not every week, but that's what has been happening in the last 2 years.
Okay, so as you will know, the Minister for Justice a couple of weeks ago announced that the state was to buy Citywest. It was going to cost the state $148 million. But that over a long period of time, over 25 years, they would save €1.25 billion, which on paper sounds wonderful.
Right, that sounds great, doesn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, that figure is added up if they were rent Citywest for the next 25 years, which is obviously not on. Right? If they're talking about wanting to save money, right? They had the hotel. They took that hotel when the crash back in 08, 09. And then they sold it for 30 million in 2014. Then a Fulshire fund, Tetra, bought it over in 2018 for 60 million. Now, since 2020, right, when they closed it down for COVID, they have received over 150 million in government contracts, right? So they're going on about saving money. Follow the money, I say. So they sell it for 30 million and want to buy it back for 148. That's not saving money. And then they're talking about 148 million. What about the cost of running electricity, gas, staff, security, all like that over the 25 years?
And Alan, sorry, you mentioned there at the start you have 2 daughters. Are you conscious of letting them out? Like, what are they, teenagers?
Yeah, one is 12 and one is 15.
Okay.
So my 15-year-old, she used to always go to Square on the Lewis, and she came back, Dad, I'm not going on the Lewis anymore. I said, why not? Full of weirdos. That's what she says. It's full of weirdos.
And by weirdos, does she mean that they would be asylum seekers?
She means, yeah, residents from Citywest Hotel.
Okay, so let me ask you then. As we said, Citywest has been out of circulation for public use since 2020 during COVID, when it was rented to the state as a COVID centre, as a testing centre, a vaccination centre and everything else. And then they started putting asylum seekers and refugees into Citywest, okay? I mean, essentially, I know people are arguing, and I played a clip out of that video from the last protest where they're basically, the community is demanding we want our hotel back, okay? Have we not? Yeah. I know I'll put my cards on the table. I miss it as a venue, and I'll tell you why. I used to be involved in lots of fundraising events that were held in Citywest, and it was one of the best venues in Dublin to hold a big, huge event. We've lost that as a venue for that sort of thing as well. But why do you want the hotel back, and what do you mean by that?
What we mean by that is, obviously for 5 years now we're without it, right? So as a local amenity, it was amazing. So we had local weddings there, we had family events, and then you have all the other shows. We'd have the darts that were there, Disney on Ice, European Poker Championship, boxing events, Idle Hope. The list goes on.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I was involved in many, many events that were held there as well. So from that point of view, I kind of missed them. But go on.
We're missing all them, right? So you'll say, right, boo-hoo, you're missing a few events. But not only that, the local economy has gone to pot, right? Because we had hundreds of people staying at Citywest Hotel on a weekly basis. So where do they spend money? In the local area. So we have a local pub stroke restaurant opens 4 days a week now. It doesn't have the business. Another restaurant closed down. The Chinese restaurant closed down and only do takeaway. Okay? And then we have other likes of Airbnb business that have gone because there's no overflow from the hotel anymore. So it's not only that. The main issue would be the antisocial behaviour and these people coming into our area. We don't know who they are, all right? And if you read any of the reports, right, it's scary what's going on. People can they're planning on putting all the applications, the international protection applicants, through Citywest. The plan is to move the IPAS office from Mount Street to Citywest.
So everything will be based and centred on Citywest.
So what happens then, people, when they're refused? What happens? They're going to be held on Citywest. So now Citywest is practically a prison for these people.
Okay, so let me just ask you finally, Alan, what is going to be achieved by the likes of the protest today and a couple of weeks back as well? Grinding traffic to a standstill on the N7 this morning. What will be achieved? Do you think the Minister is going to say, oh my God, we've traffic jams, we better not buy that hotel?
Well, obviously, he's already came out and said he won't engage with people. It's not who screams the loudest. But that's what we want. We want to meet with these people and we get our voices heard and all the concerns that I've issued with you today.
Alan, sorry to cut across because a message just came in there that annoyed me on your behalf, and it says that caller sounds like a damn bigot who hates foreigners with the way he's going on. Now, we've spoken to you for the last 10 minutes, so I don't know you from Adam. That is not one thing I would say about you. You sound like a concerned parent. There's nothing.
Jeremy, I was expecting a question like that. I'm a dad in the area that's worried about my kids growing up in this area. It's as simple as that, right? Some of my best friends are foreign people. My neighbours are all foreign people. The majority of people buying houses in the area are foreign people. They're lovely, lovely people. But when you get people down here that are drinking and taking drugs and don't give two hoots about who do you offend and who do you upset in the area. Now, there's been other things. Like there's been a sexual attack in the area, and that was kept on the hush-hush, and that has happened, okay? Then there's other attacks in the area. So
so your point is that this protest will continue until somebody starts listening to you, basically.
100%.
Okay, stay with me for a second if you can, please, Alan.
Can I just say, by the way, neither of us are saying that Alan is racist or a bigot.
No,